The New England Patriots are quietly building something solid, while over in Miami, the Dolphins are starting to look like a team coming apart at the seams. It's one thing to struggle on the field, but when the drama starts off the field, in the locker room, with coaches, with front office moves, that's when you know there are serious problems. And right now, the Dolphins are deep in that kind of mess. One of the biggest headlines this offseason isn't about a new acquisition or a breakout star in training camp. It's about the apparent implosion of the relationship between star cornerback Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins organization. And folks, it doesn't look pretty. Now let's break this down. From what's been floating around, and there's a lot of smoke here, so there's probably some fire. Ramsey has been at odds with Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel for a while now. Apparently, there's no respect left in that relationship. Ramsey doesn't vibe with the coaching staff, and the team has basically told him to go ahead and find a new home. That's not a rumor. That's where things stand. They don't want to deal with his massive contract, and frankly, they're done with the drama. That tells you everything you need to know about how things are running down in Miami. For a team that was supposed to be a real contender in the AFC East, with all that speed, all that offensive firepower, a defense loaded with big names, to now be pushing one of its top defensive players out the door. That's not a good sign. Let's not forget Jalen Ramsey was brought in to be a cornerstone of that defense, a guy who could take away one side of the field and bring leadership to the secondary. Now, less than a year later, they're trying to unload him like he's a burden. And listen, I get it. Cap space matters, draft picks matter, but when you're making moves like this, it usually means something deeper is broken. And when those rumors start swirling about a return to the Rams, the place where he won a Super Bowl, or maybe even a move to Washington, it makes you wonder how fast the Dolphins are trying to jump ship. The Rams, for example, do have multiple first-rounders over the next couple of years, so it's not impossible. But the real question is, who's going to want to absorb that contract? The man is over 30, and he's making just over $24 million a year. That's not pocket change. That's a commitment, especially for a player with injury history and now apparent locker room baggage. And here's where it gets even more interesting, and from a Patriots fan perspective, a whole lot sweeter. This kind of dysfunction within the Dolphins is music to New England's ears. Why? Because in the NFL, success isn't just about talent. It's about culture, leadership, structure. It's about having a clear direction, a system that holds everyone accountable. And while the Patriots have had their share of rough seasons recently, especially post-Brady, one thing that's becoming increasingly obvious is that the organization is trying to get back to that no-nonsense business-first mentality. You can already see the shift with guys like Jared Mayo stepping into a larger leadership role and the kind of discipline he's trying to reinstill. Players have spoken out about how much more intense and focused things feel. That's the kind of energy you want heading into a new season. Compare that to the Dolphins, where you've got one of your biggest names openly clashing with the coach, and instead of fixing the issue internally, the team is ready to cut bait. That's not a championship formula. That's a red flag. Remember last year when the Patriots were dealing with the whole Matthew Judon contract situation? People were quick to jump on the narrative that the organization was falling apart, that they weren't treating players right. But look how that was handled. Professionally, quietly, and ultimately Judon remained a respected figure in that locker room. That's leadership. That's structure. What's happening in Miami? That's chaos, plain and simple. And I know what some Dolphins fans are thinking. You're just hating. We still have Tyreek Hill. We still have Jalen Waddle. We still have Tua. We still have Vic Fangio running the defense. Sure, on paper, this team still has talent. But talent alone doesn't win championships. Chemistry matters. Trust matters. And when one of your top players feels so alienated that he's ready to leave, or worse, that the team is basically showing him the door, that sends a message to the entire locker room. It tells guys that if you don't fall in line, you're next. It creates tension. It divides the team. And in a division that includes the Bills, the rising Jets, and a Patriots team looking hungry to rebound, that's a dangerous place to be. Now, there's also the financial angle. Of course, the Dolphins want to clear up cap space. They want more flexibility. Maybe they're thinking about the future. Maybe they want to load up on draft picks. That's fine. That's standard NFL front office logic. But if you're really a team built to win now, and all offseason the Dolphins have been hyped as a win now team, why are you gutting your defense? Why are you willing to move on from someone like Jalen Ramsey, who's not just a shutdown corner, but also one of the most vocal leaders on the field. It doesn't add up. Add to that the fact that head coach Mike McDaniel is starting to feel the heat. Let's be honest, if this team doesn't make the playoffs this year, or if they sneak in and flame out like they did last year, there's going to be a lot of pressure to make changes. The NFL right now is obsessed with young, offensive-minded head coaches. Everyone's chasing the next Sean McVay, the next Kyle Shanahan. But that shine only lasts so long if you're not winning games. And with all the internal drama, McDaniel could be coaching for his job this season. That's not a comfortable position to be in, especially in a city like Miami where expectations are sky high and patience is thin. Let's not forget the Tyreek Hill situation either. We all remember how wild that got. And yes, the current messaging from the team is all positive. He's poised for his best season yet. He's locked in. He's motivated. That's all part of the off-season hype machine. Every team is hyping up its stars right now. Every training camp clip is going viral. But if the Dolphins start slow, if Tua struggles, or if that defense starts giving up big plays, all those narratives flip fast. Suddenly Tyreek is a distraction again. Suddenly the locker room is toxic. Suddenly that explosive offense looks a lot less dangerous. It's a fragile situation, and right now it's looking more and more like a house of cards. From a Patriots perspective, though, this is all good news. You've got a division rival turning into a soap opera, while New England is quietly building a more disciplined, accountable team culture. The offense is starting to take shape. The defense is being refined with guys like Christian Gonzalez stepping up. And leadership within the locker room seems to be getting stronger. That's the kind of foundation you want heading into a tough AFC schedule. You don't want headlines about beef between your star players and your head coach. You want guys locked in, focused, and working toward one goal. So here's the real question. Where does Jalen Ramsey end up? Do the Dolphins actually manage to trade him? Does he go back to LA? Do the Commanders step in with a wild offer? Or does Miami realize mid-training camp that they can't afford to lose a player like that and try to mend fences? Personally, I don't think he stays in Miami. That bridge looks burned, the trust seems broken, and once that happens in the NFL, it's usually only a matter of time. Maybe he does end up back with the Rams, especially if they're serious about contending again. Maybe some team with cap room and a need at corner sees a chance to grab a former All-Pro at a discount. Who knows? But what we do know is this. The Dolphins are in trouble. Not because of one player, not because of one move, but because this kind of situation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's a symptom of a bigger issue. And for the rest of the AFC East, especially a team like the Patriots trying to reassert themselves, this is a golden opportunity. Because when your rivals are distracted, disorganized, and dysfunctional, all you have to do is stay focused and play your game. Now shifting gears to the Patriots and a name that always sparks debate. Among fans, Kendrick Bourne. There's a lot of emotion around this guy. And honestly, I get it. He's easy to root for. The energy, the passion, the way he carries himself on and off the field, he's the kind of player fans want to see succeed. But here's the truth. This might be the end of the line for Bourne in New England. Let's rewind for a second. When Bourne first came to the Patriots, he brought a much-needed spark to the offense. He had chemistry with Mac Jones, made some clutch plays, and for a while, it looked like he could be a real weapon in the system. But then came the drama, the benching, the lack of targets, the injuries, and most recently, that brutal ACL tear in the 2023 season. No matter how you spin it, that's a tough injury to come back from, especially for a wide receiver who depends so much on quickness and timing. And in a league that moves this fast, recovery doesn't just mean getting healthy. It means proving you still belong. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In the quiet corridors of NFL speculation, a new rumor has begun to echo. Caleb Williams might just be the next big thing in New England. While no official word has been given and all parties remain tight-lipped, sources close to the situation suggest that the Patriots could be preparing to crown Williams as the face of their franchise. A move that would mark a dramatic new chapter in the post-Brady era. It's no secret that New England has been searching for its next cornerstone. Quarterback since Tom Brady's departure. Mac Jones showed flashes, but never quite filled the void. Now, with the winds of change sweeping through Gillette Stadium and a new regime seemingly more aggressive in reshaping the roster, all eyes have turned to Williams, the dynamic quarterback. Out of USC, known for his electric playmaking and natural leadership, some insiders believe the Patriots are not just intrigued by Williams, they're ready to go all in. There's a real buzz in the building, one league insider said. The kind you don't get unless something big is brewing. Could that something big be Caleb? The idea makes sense. Williams offers everything the modern NFL demands: mobility, arm strength, and an instinctive feel for the game. Pair that with New England's revamped coaching staff and the franchise's newfound urgency, and the narrative starts to take shape. Of course, there's still a long road between rumor and reality. Draft picks, front office moves, and cap space all play a role in whether this possibility comes to life. But where there's smoke, there's often fire. And right now, Foxborough is getting warm. Fans are already whispering, could Williams be the one? If the speculation holds even a grain of truth, Patriots Nation might soon be rallying around a new number one who carries not just a strong arm, but the hopes of a dynasty reboot. Stay tuned. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.